Back in action, boys. UFC 265 last night. How do we feel
Yep.
about it?
Jose Aldo was the best fight of the
Best
night.
fighter, in my opinion.
No, I think that fight was the best fight.
I'd say the most entertaining was Chiesa versus the other guy.
Not gonna lie, I've heard very little about Chiesa until this fight build up. Basically, he he kind of gained a fan. I liked him.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Was that the?
He used to be a 155er. He was way back there when,
How long has he been in the game?
I don't know.
We sound like casuals right now.
I forgot the whole card.
I mean, we got
Dude, don't worry. I was.
Derek Lewis.
Got slept.
He got outclassed.
Got beat.
Damn,
Completely outclassed.
He was just so like slow. He's so unathletic.
He
He
didn't seem to care that much. That's a really.
He has that right hand, and then his kicks were just weak.
That's the thing when you're so heavy like that.
I mean,
You're gonna lose some athleticism,
Yeah.
I mean, the other guy is built like Ngannou.
dude. But you could see
So imagine if he
Cyril Gane just running away whenever Derek Lewis threw a punch.
Yeah.
Like you can tell. Like the thing is with Derek Lewis, like he kind of has that Khabib factor where it's like he has one good weapon, and you're gonna.
Would you rather face Derek Lewis or Ngannou?
I'd rather face.
I mean,
Derek,
probably Derek.
probably.
Really?
I don't know.
Actually,
I wouldn't.
definitely Derek.
That's
Honest, I don't know.
you
Who
definitely
do you have
rather
a better
face Derek
chance
'cause
to
Ngannou
win
is more
against?
powerful and has more skills.
So, Ngannou, you'd rather face him? Really? I'd rather face Derek Lewis.
Either way, you're
no,
going to
I
the
would
hospital.
rather face Derek because Ngannou is more powerful and more skilled.
I don't know if he's more
I'm-
powerful, but
I'm
If
not trying to
you-
die. I'm more likely to like get killed by Francis than get killed by Derek Lewis. 5 rounds in the octagon. I could
Neither
probably
one of
run
them
away.
want to face each other. That's for damn sure. Those
Mm,
two. Have you ever seen like what if Superman punched you? Because he can move faster than light. If Superman punched you, it would be like a nuclear bomb going off. That's what it would be like if those two fought again, and really like through. Because in their first fight, it was like they barely even punched each other, and Derek got the win somehow. But if they fought each other and actually like tried to knock each other out instead of like playing it safe the whole time, that would be insane.
I didn't see that one, but
It's on YouTube. It was like the most boring thing. I was
mean-
waiting for something to happen.
look at what Ngannou did to Stipe. I mean, he knocked him out cold.
Yeah.
and Derek last fight he literally unconsciously slept someone with his punch.
Who did he face in his
He
last fight?
unconsciously slept someone with
without
his
even
punch.
trying.
What?
Wait, doesn't Derek have like
No.
the most knockouts
Last-
in UFC history?
Yeah, tied for most. Last time he fought Curtis Blades, and he
Oh,
knocked
yeah.
him out cold to sleep with a punch. And
That's the thing.
he wasn't even like conscious when Bruce Buffer, when he got his hand held up.
If you fight Derek Lewis, you're either gonna outskill him or he's gonna knock the fuck out of you.
I couldn't imagine him losing in front of my eyes until yesterday.
I mean, I would like to see John Jones versus Ngannou.
That brings me up to one of my points is like, does John Jones beat Francis Ngannou? I don't think so.
I don't
think-
know.
I don't think John Jones beats Francis Ngannou. I know John Jones is like the most skilled guy.
It's
Like,
like
he's good on all corners, but Francis is significantly heavier than him, more powerful than him.
How much heavier?
How much heavier?
Well, at this point, actually, I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
What about
true.
their walking around? Like, what do they walk around at?
Doesn't
Good question.
dude? John Jones, if he doesn't get knocked out, he wins that fight. He only loses by knockout.
Yeah, it's not like Francis is gonna
I mean,
outskill him.
he's better on and everywhere.
Wait, Francis is better?
John Jones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, John Jones is
Wrestling.
more skilled, but he's
He doesn't have
he's
the power.
been that skilled at light heavyweight, and his power's translated at light heavyweight. Francis is, even if they're the same weight, Francis is a true heavyweight. He's built for that weight class, and it's not like Francis isn't skilled. He's obviously won by his power.
Honestly, I was watching the detail DC did on one of Francis's knockouts, and DC was saying how Ngannou doesn't really, in some cases, doesn't have good form when he does like get crazy knockouts. Like, who did he knock out before Stipe?
Oh.
What the Christ was
That's so weird.
What was it?
A nail.
That's John sending us a
Damn.
message.
What? Who did? I'll look it up.
Yeah, I think John takes his first L against Francis Ngannou. Sorry.
Well, they say.
All right. Rosenstrike, right?
Okay,
That's who it was.
Yeah.
And in the detail, DC was like, you can see it. He was like way open, but he
Yeah.
still knocked him out.
Right. Well, so John's argument is that every time he's fighting somebody that's supposed to beat him, it's this guy who's going to knock him out, and John never gets knocked out by these guys.
I mean,
That's John's argument.
he
But
finished
but
Daniel
Francis,
Cormier, I
bro.
think, twice.
yeah, but Daniel Cormier is not Francis. First
Dude,
of all,
he
he's
was
a wrestler.
He was a heavyweight champion. He knocked out Stipe too.
Yeah, but Francis is a different. Wait, DC didn't knock out Stipe.
Yeah, he did.
Did
I
they
mean-
fight 3 times?
They fought 3 times, but
And Stipe won both, or he won 2 of them.
yeah. That DC ended his career on a loss to Stipe. That's how good Stipe is. I'd like to see John Jones versus Stipe.
That I think is a
honestly.
better fight because
I mean, they're doing the guy who just what's his name? The guy who just knocked out Derek Lewis.
I don't even know his name.
I think John
Gaines.
Jones should come back, fight Stipe. If he beats Stipe, then I'll think he can beat Francis, or I'll think he has a chance. But I don't think he should go in and fight that. Francis is the baddest man on the planet right now.
I think this-
hold on, let me finish my point. If John goes in and fights Francis right away, my money has to be on Francis.
Interesting. I wonder what the odds would say in Vegas.
In my opinion, based on what I've seen, it has to be Francis. What do you guys think?
I think John's height and length and shit is just
I think
in his
John.
undefeated record and his status, his
Think
skill.
John takes it.
Now
I think
that
John wins.
now that
John
John's
wins
back
that
on
fight.
steroids.
Dude, you can look at his Instagram. He's huge.
John is?
He's training hard.
He's never fought at that weight though, and he hasn't fought in a long ass time.
When
Keep
was
that
the
in
last
mind.
fight?
I don't know,
I don't know.
but
A while ago.
whatever. He dude.
It was like over a year ago. It was like a year. and a
Throughout
half
his
ago.
entire career, he's like he always takes long breaks between fights.
Yeah, but at some point,
He always wins.
that's
bro.
not gonna work.
Dude,
And it's
Says-
at light heavyweight, not against
says who?
Francis Ngannou.
Says who?
Father Time.
Dude, Khabib. Khabib didn't ever lose.
Who do you, I think John Jones would fuck up Derek Lewis.
Yeah,
Yes.
just like
It would-
Agreed. Derek Luke, dude, I would just run around him if I was fighting him.
I mean, back to the card last night though.
Aldo was definitely the winner in my opinion.
Oh
He
yeah,
was the winner of my attention.
no doubt he won. But the question now is like, is Aldo fighting for a 135 title anytime soon?
Well, you got
He's-
Aljo,
He
right?
talked about fighting TJ Dillashaw next.
Aldo said that.
That would make
That
sense.
would be
That
an
that'd
interesting-
be a good
Aldo and Aljo.
I
No,
don't know.
Not Aljo.
They're saying
but-
TJ's
know.
next fight is the winner of Jan versus Sterling. But I think TJ should fight before then because Jan and Sterling don't fight for a few months. TJ should fight again before Peter Yan's or Aljo is ready to fight him after that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
Yeah.
a long fight from now.
What? It's October, right?
They fight in October. Peter Yan and Aljo rematch in October. Then you gotta assume it's gonna be at least 3 to 4 months before one of them is ready to fight again. Versus what's his name? Not Colby. Why was I?
TJ.
TJ. But if TJ fights, he probably wants to fight again before then. But if he loses, then he's out of title contention.
Is he
So,
though?
I don't think that fight happens.
No, I think they can make that work. If not, I'd like to see Aldo versus McGregor
I don't know.
again
I
I
think-
would too.
I think Connor's too big now.
Yeah.
at 145.
Like heavy.
That would be a great fight to see
Yeah.
again.
I still think Connor should go back to 145. I think Jose Aldo's he's gotten his body down to a point where he's a comfortable 135 fighter now.
He's a one.
He's pretty skinny.
Oh my god.
He'd
He's
have
like-
to go up to beat a guy who's cutting down to get to 145. To me, I don't think that happens.
I don't know.
McGregor sleeps Aldo again.
I mean, because Connor beat Cowboy at 170. He'd fuck up Jose
That
Aldo at
is
145.
crazy. Like this man went up to 170.
But that would if Connor wants to get a solid win, that's a good fight to make.
For Connor.
It's
But
good
why
for
would
Conor.
Jose
I mean-
take that fight if he's trying to get the 135 belt?
I don't know. I think he fought Henry Cejudo for it.
Did he fight for the title? For the
Yeah.
Who did?
Or not Jose Aldo
He fought Peter Yan for the title.
or Peter Yan.
He
Peter?
didn't fight Cejudo.
Yeah.
Cejudo vacated the belt, and Peter Yan and Aljo. Or Peter Yan beat
Aldo.
Aldo for it.
Yeah.
Then Aljamain beat him by
Dang.
DQ.
So McGregor would sleep Aldo.
Hot take.
So wait, you
I
think
I think Aljamain Sterling faked his injury in the octagon.
this man's about to ruin my relationships?
Now this man's about to put him in
He's
the
about to
hot seat.
He's about to fuck up my business.
I
Hey,
mean,
dude,
I'm
no.
not saying
No,
I
no, no.
wouldn't do the same.
bro, what is fake about a big, beefy, muscular Russian guy kneeing you in the
Bro,
face
he's
at full
tiny.
force?
He's
Dude,
a tiny
no.
guy. What do you mean? He's
They're-
like one.
they got a lot
he's
of
like
muscle.
140.
All I'm saying
At full
is,
speed, unexpected.
Whatever.
Dude, you don't even fake that.
Hear me
Dude,
out.
I just think he was faking it.
When I was in New York with his teammates, Merab Velishvili, Pumi, who's the CFFC champion,
Who me?
two great guys. They both said that was basically Aljo's worst day for a variety of reasons. They were very hold on.
Were
They very convincingly made the argument to me that was Aljo's worst day in the cage, and that when they fight again, he's going to be a much better version of himself than he was in that fight. And they told me that I should go rewatch that fight because if you watch it a second time, many people have told me this. Watch that fight again, and you won't think Aljo was doing as bad as you did when you saw it on first sight.
I don't think he did that.
I
I don't think he did
I
bad
don't.
at all.
I don't either.
Judges had him winning some rounds.
Yeah,
I think he was. I mean, Peter Yan's a bad
Peter Yan's a beast,
dude.
and I think he has the court of public opinion right now because of all the controversy. And I think people are gonna shit on us for even saying Aljo has a chance. But I think Aljo.
I think Aljo has a chance, man.
I
I
mean,
think
he has a
he'd-
chance.
I mean, he's a beast.
Do you think
He's
he
a
should have been
beast. He
flexing
fucking
with
put-
that belt?
No, I wouldn't have. But he's earned pretty much everything he's gotten, in my opinion. And Corey Sandhagen, who's like, I think he should have won that last fight against TJ, but he put Corey Sandhagen to bed in 40 seconds.
Really?
In the
Submission?
first round by submission. That's fucking crazy. So I think anybody who thinks Aljo is just because he got kneed in the face and people think he acted his way into a belt, that they're turning that into now Peter Yan's going to fuck him up. I disagree.
Dude, Aljo was trying to fight, and the doctor That was like the doctor said he couldn't. And then in the fight interview with Joe Rogan, he said, "Yeah, I was letting my ego get into me trying to continue that fight, but I really shouldn't have. I was hurt."
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, just people are like creating a narrative now that
There's no way he faked.
I mean, Peter Yan has like some diehard fans. If you look at like,
Really?
He's Russian. Like, it's kind of like the new Khabib.
but he's a fucking beast too. He is a beast. Watch the fight with Jose Aldo and Peter Yan again. Jose Aldo held his own, but eventually over time he got pieced up by Peter Yan, and if that doesn't show you how good Peter Yan is, I don't know. Because in that fight last night, Jose Aldo looked like a fucking beast. Like, he couldn't even his defense was great, his boxing was great. He didn't even use his legs, which are one of his best weapons, till the end of the fight.
He was checking those kicks really.
Yeah, right.
Really
like, you couldn't even.
solid.
He basically left that shit unscathed.
Yeah.
And he throws it. His punch is so quick.
Yeah.
Just like really quick. That's why I'd like to see them run it back with McGregor. Just see the difference. Like,
I just think Conor would fuck him up.
Yeah.
I mean, he could, but it'd be fun to see.
Sure, yeah.
he could.
I don't even know if
will.
you could really turn that. Like, I don't think you could really sell the
It'll
fans
never
on that.
happen, but
Why
just-
can't you sell the fans on that?
It's too much of a weight difference.
not really, dude. It's not,
Conor
dude.
draws.
Aldo is a big 135. He's like really he's like 0% body fat when he's down there.
I was making the argument in our last podcast that Conor should go down to 145 because I think he would run a train on the 145 division. Now you add a 135er to that argument, I think he fucks up Jose Aldo again.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, he did it. He already did it once. 13 seconds.
I mean, yeah. He sent Jose down to 135.
Well, they've already fought at 145, so
I honestly think Conor's career is kind of falling off a little.
No,
we've been through this
Wrong.
one. That's not
Nah.
true.
That's cap.
He's in a bad spot.
What do you think of the tweets?
I mean,
Oh,
it reeks of desperation.
dude,
And
that
and
reeks of
Did you see the
bad
interview
looks.
with Khabib and Mike Tyson?
some of it, yeah.
Mike Tyson and Khabib.
Bruh, there's a lot of people right now who say like Conor is like always drinking and doing drugs.
Like who?
Like Khabib, like who somebody else I was just listening to today was saying how like Conor's it was Colby Covington. He was saying how Conor's always like smoking weed on his yacht with hookers and shit. Like there's a lot of
Probably.
people who are saying shit like Conor's like fucking off and not really taking fighting or health seriously as much.
He says he is.
Well, yeah, he says he is.
I don't know. In his last fight, he was pretty fit.
Not really. I don't
He
know.
had all the Instagram.
He was really like in good shape. You could tell.
I don't know. I mean,
I mean, you could see it.
do you think Conor got fucked up in that fight?
No,
There's a lot of people.
he
who say
definitely
he did.
didn't.
There's a lot of people who say he did.
I mean, a lot of people are wrong. Look at his defense on the ground. He landed a good amount of significant strikes with those elbows and the up kicks.
He did cheat with the up kicks though, pulling on Poirier's glove. Not allowed.
Poirier cheated by putting his toes in the fence, so
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
even.
it's
Wait,
fine.
what?
Poirier wants to act like Conor's
to
a
get out of
cheater
the
and he's a
guillotine.
bad guy, but when he was trying to get out of the guillotine, he put his toes in the fence, which is illegal. So they're one.
I
for
remember
one on the
McGregor
cheating.
did that with Khabib, and that was illegal. Yeah,
Yeah, they're one
I
for
don't
one
think
on
those
the
are
cheating.
those are. I don't really pay attention to those.
yeah. Those
It's interesting though because Poirier used Conor's cheating to like say he was a scumbag, literally, but Poirier cheated too.
It
Damn
could have also been
Poirier.
instinct for Poirier just to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't think he got messed up in that fight. McGregor was landing hard leg kicks in the beginning of that round. First round.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the whole narrative that Dustin was just fucking him up on the ground, that is not true. Most of that fight, most of that time on the ground, I don't think you could say Dustin was in control and having his way. A lot of that time, Connor had him in a guillotine. A lot of that time, Connor was elbowing him in the head. A lot of that time, Dustin was trying to land punches while Connor was kicking him in the face. I don't get how you can say, like for example, Chael Sonnen always is saying how Connor just completely got demolished in that fight, and I just don't think that's true. Like,
Who? That's
It's-
like
it's
that's like those reporters trying to get their attention, and it's not true.
I mean, Dustin definitely won the round,
10-9.
but it was a 10-9 in my opinion.
Probably no contest.
I mean, he was landing. They were both having good moments in the fight. I mean, Kavanaugh, his coach, said he was very pleased with the round. I mean, I don't know if he was
Well,
just saying that, but
Of course, he says that.
I mean, you you can't shit on your guy publicly. The guy who
I mean-
brought you. Kavanaugh's
Dude,
where he is because of Connor.
think of it like this: when Chandler and Oliveira fought, that was kind of like the same thing. Like Chandler had the first round, and you wouldn't have never thought Oliveira was gonna knock him out the next round.
I was actually hyped because I thought Chandler was about to win the title.
So what if that was the case with McGregor and Poirier? Like Poirier had his way the first round slightly. I mean, you can easily say Dustin won the round.
Definitely. He definitely
Next
won the
round,
round.
it's a whole new round. Like you never know.
Yeah.
McGregor could have knocked him out.
I think McGregor would have ended up losing the fight because he probably gassed himself out doing that guillotine.
Dude, what is so gassing about?
I don't
Guillotine.
Holding
know.
somebody in a that strong.
I think his conditioning is really
yeah.
he's been working on it.
I don't know. Like he posts on Instagram that he's working on it, but I don't know if
I mean,
Connor's where he needs to be. Honestly,
what makes you say that?
just all the other stuff I'm hearing about him. I'm not sure that Connor's this just super disciplined guy like he used to be. You know?
I don't know. I think he's pretty re-energized.
I don't know. And now you've got Connor who's rehabbing an injury for the next year and a half while
No,
Dustin's
Not
training
that.
and getting
He's already
better.
out of a cast.
Okay, but he's not going to be. They said he's not fighting for 9 months. He's not going to be eligible for 9 months, no matter what.
9 months from when did he last fight? What was July?
10th.
Yeah. So
And I don't see if Dustin wins the title. I don't think Connor should get a title fight. Like, how
Not
does he
right away.
deserve that? I don't even think Connor should be like a top 10 lightweight right now.
dude, he literally was facing the best of the best.
But he hasn't.
Poirier
won.
is the best of the best.
I just think there's been guys who've done more, won more, and deserve a higher
He's
ranking
the
than him.
first double champ.
Yeah,
of
that
the
was
entire-
5 years ago,
So
6 years ago.
who's done more than him?
I mean, that was an older time though. It doesn't really matter.
You just said no. There's a lot of people who have done more.
Recently, like for like in lightweight and competed more recently.
Yeah, Poirier.
Yeah.
Who else? That's who he was fighting.
Let's look at the top.
Gaethje, out. He hasn't fought.
Gaethje should be ranked higher than Connor.
But he hasn't fought since he lost to Khabib.
He's still a contender though.
But dude,
if he wins
he's
this fight,
inactive.
he should be he's about to fight Chandler.
I'd rather be McGregor and actually put up fights and do decent perform. Like, dude, in January, McGregor won the first round against Poirier, the top dog. He won the first round. I mean, you can't just say like, "Oh, he's washed up."
And that fight showed that McGregor's full of tricks up his sleeve and still really good.
Yeah, like you could see his IQ. Like he went to the ground, up kicks. Who throws up kicks? Who throws the elbow as well as McGregor? From the
That's
the
true.
back.
You make good
Yeah,
points.
it's crazy how McGregor hurt him on the ground.
You make good points.
I mean, you could see Dustin evading and
Like, dude.
reevaluating. He was definitely being more defensive after those elbows. when he was on top.
You make good points.
His ground and pound definitely slowed down after that.
What else do we?
Let's move on to
Yeah.
We've got Chandler and Gaethje just got announced. Now I'd like to remind you guys, Chandler's first official weigh-in for the UFC was as a backup for Gaethje versus Khabib.
Oh, right.
So, say Khabib didn't make weight, Chandler would have faced Gaethje,
Probably for an interim belt.
interim title, yeah.
And
And
if
then
Gaethje missed weight or whatever.
he would have
I
faced
would have
Khabib.
liked to see
Oh my
Chandler
God.
versus Khabib.
So
Two wrestlers.
there's,
I think-
there's some history between Gaethje and Chandler. I think it's a pretty good matchup.
It's a great matchup.
What do we think happens?
I don't know. I mean,
I think-
they both have pop in their hands. Like, they both can throw.
They're both kind of smaller guys.
No, Gaethje's bigger for sure.
Gaethje's bigger than Chandler.
Chandler's
Right.
shorter and more of a wrestler body, but he kind of reminds you of Chad Mendes in a way. Chandler.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Gaethje is just a tough, like, he's durable
Yeah, he's
and he can throw. I mean, what he did against Tony was pretty crazy. No one did that to Tony before him.
yeah.
Ever since then, Tony's never been the same fighter.
That's true. Gaethje's the guy who stopped.
Retired.
Gaethje's the guy who basically put Tony in this downward spiral that he's in.
Yeah, I mean, you don't recover from that. Like,
So I actually looked into like the real nitty gritty of Chandler's history. At Bellator, first of all, he started his pro career like 11-0, and then in Bellator he became a champ 3 different times and defended it many times. So he, for like a long, pretty much a decade, he was at the top of the lightweight division in Bellator. He was also a top All-American wrestler at Mizzou. So
What's Mizzou?
Missouri wrestling.
Ah.
Was, you know, top of his class in wrestling at his weight class, and then he went pro as an MMA fighter, and now he's out to prove he's hungry. So that's the cool thing about Chandler to me is he's already been a champion for so long, a world champion. I mean, Bellator, you're still obviously world class if you're champion in Bellator, and then you have a whole other chip on your shoulder by coming into an even bigger, better stage. Gaethje's obviously he's been interim champion. He's never been top dog in the UFC. So I think it's
It's a
I
good
don't know.
matchup.
It's a good
it's a
matchup.
good matchup.
I
mean,
hope Chandler wins.
Chandler's really good at being good. He's really good at climbing to the top or wherever he is. Like,
Yeah.
in 2 fights, he had a title fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the UFC kind of.
I mean, that was a
Gave
little
that to him.
butchered,
Yeah.
but
No, it was,
it made sense though that he got it in my
I mean,
opinion.
because Poirier chose to fight McGregor.
what did that have to do with Chandler, though?
I think, well, Poirier was offered the title fight over Chandler, and then he chose to fight McGregor. So then
Wait,
they gave it to
Poirier
Chandler.
was offered the title fight against who?
Oliveira.
Oh, okay. So Oliveira was going to have that.
Yeah. And then if Poirier took the McGregor fight, Chandler was next in line to face Oliveira.
Well, that doesn't even make sense because Chandler fought Hooker right before Poirier fought McGregor. So how's he next in line if he hadn't even
Because they're
fought
both
one UFC fight
top
yet?
5 lightweights coming off wins. So
But
Dustin beat Conor, and they
Wait.
said you can have the title fight or the rematch against Conor. And Oliveira
Oh,
had
I'm
just come
tweaking.
off beating Tony.
I thought you were talking
So
about
then
in
the
January.
next, Dustin was either going to fight Oliveira or
I'd love to see
Conor.
Poirier versus
I'm-
Chandler.
I'm really
That-
excited for Poirier versus Oliveira.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I think Dustin's going to wipe Oliveira clean.
Dude, no.
I hope so.
No, no.
I think he will.
No.
I think he
I
will.
don't know.
And I kind of want to see
Oliveira's
that.
a beast.
I want to see that. Why do you want to see that?
I want to see it because I think Chandler, I mean, Poirier has a tougher time with Oliveira,
What?
Then Conor.
just in general. Poirier it's not going to be an easy fight. It's
Poirier
going to be hard.
He's known for his boxing right now because he's been knocking out Conor. and just he's a
Once.
great boxer.
Once.
Connor
But-
outboxed Poirier.
But no,
On
Poirier,
in
I mean,
July.
huh?
Oliveira can just submit.
Yeah,
like-
Oliveira like is one of the top. Like
He's just a slimy.
yeah,
like,
he's
he
He's
can
slimy.
Just, he's
he's
just
one of the
like-
top jiu-jitsu guys in the UFC.
He'll throw up like a triangle or something. Just like
Yeah, but even dude, the thing with that is like Dustin almost submitted Khabib, so it's not like Dustin's a chump on the ground.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he had a decent guillotine, or what was it, a guillotine?
I think
Against
so.
Khabib,
Yeah.
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 That's solid. Who do you think? I mean, in their primes, who would win? Khabib or GSP?
GSP.
I don't know. Is GSP a lightweight?
GSP
170.
basically ran his division twice.
They were trying to make that fight for a little bit.
GSP went through his division, then went back through it again.
So
Was basically gone for 4 years. Then he went up a weight class, came back and beat that British guy. Forget it. For what's his name?
Michael Bisping.
He beat Michael Bisping at 185 after 4 years off. So I think GSP is obviously the GOAT, and he would beat Khabib.
He's not the GOAT.
Boy,
How is GSP not the GOAT?
John Jones is the GOAT.
GSP has more title defenses than John Jones and never got popped for steroids.
I don't. He doesn't have more title defenses.
Yeah, I think he has 13 title fights and 9 title defenses. So
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
John Jones
yeah.
has 11.
All right, but GSP has more title fights and
I don't
pretty
know.
much the same amount of title
Dude,
defenses.
he's
And John Jones
John
isn't
Jones
clean.
is undefeated.
How can you say he's the GOAT if he's
I mean,
not clean?
most people
He's
say John
undefeated.
Jones is
That's
the
like
GOAT.
saying Barry Bonds is the best hitter in baseball.
Dude, I don't care.
Dude.
Dana White says John Jones is the GOAT.
Okay, I disagree with Dana White.
Okay, that's fine.
Do we already have this debate?
I mean, most people say John Jones is the GOAT.
I don't think most people do.
Most people.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Joe
that's
Rogan
like a-
says GSP is the GOAT.
No, it's not true.
How can you make that argument if they have similar amounts of title fights and defenses, but one of them got popped for steroids?
How good was their competition? You know, by how much do they win the fights? How smart are they?
But
all these things.
Why in this discussion does John Jones get let off the hook for taking steroids?
That's a good question.
Why?
Valid. I
GSP
don't
was
know.
avidly against steroids, and he fucking ran the whole division. Like he wiped everybody clean a bunch. Anybody who beat GSP, he beat in the second fight.
Okay.
So Matt Serra beat him. He ended up beating Matt Serra. Hughes beat him. He ended up beating Hughes. So, I mean,
Yeah, John Jones is
I think it's that
undefeated.
undefeated record probably that has
John
his
Jones is like
consensus.
undefeated.
I think GSP's record is more impressive than John Jones, considering GSP never did steroids. That to me, that's cheating. That takes you out of the discussion. In
I
any
don't-
sport.
I don't think so.
in any
In
sport,
any sport.
then Tom Brady is not the GOAT.
Now, a lot of people also cheat and never get caught. I know that in the UFC, a lot of people cheat and don't get caught. But if you're cheating
Mm.
and get caught, I have to assume you're cheating a bunch because it's hard to get caught.
Didn't they start testing guys like randomly, like without them knowing beforehand?
That they do that. But there's a lot of guys know how to not get caught.
And I'm assuming that they would have tested John way more after he got popped. You know,
Okay.
so
I don't think you can say he's the GOAT if he got popped.
Okay,
So GSP
so
is the next
actually,
guy.
let's say he took steroids.
I'd say Kamaru could be if he keeps going at this trajectory, could be a GOAT.
Why isn't Kamaru Usman more popular?
I don't know.
I don't know. He doesn't like. He's not really outlandish with anything.
He hasn't been marketed that much.
He copies like all Connor's like famous
Yeah.
sayings. It's
Really?
green panty night. Yeah, like there's like a compilation
like-
on YouTube of all the shit he stole from Connor.
Like look at like Colby Covington. Like he's an outlandish figure. Like McGregor.
Yeah,
He's like known.
he speaks out. He's a big Trump guy. He brings girls around all the time.
Like,
has a
look
brand.
at all the famous like draws in the UFC. Like they're all like Khabib is just like no one is like Khabib. Like
Khabib's like the outlier. He's the one guy who's like super honorable and is really popular. But I think he's really popular because like he has basically captivated all of that like Eastern European audience.
I mean all of Russia's behind
Yeah.
him. So
So
it's
like a whole freaking nation of Islamic Russians is behind you. You're going to be super but that's like a niche audience even though it's a massive audience. Whereas you look at a guy like Connor, he like penetrates all audiences. Colby's obviously super popular with like the Republican Americans and like that's his brand.
I mean he's
but what's
he's
Kamaru's brand?
He's more like he's not popular.
Who?
Colby Covington. He's famous.
What?
What's
like-
the difference?
Popular like means like I feel like in my opinion it means like people like him. Like no one likes Colby Covington really. Like he gets booed. Like he's famous.
It's like called bad heat, and it generates.
I mean but he doesn't
similar
care.
things.
It's like a character. It's like an act. That's like he wants people tune in to see him because of that.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're the villain, people still want to see you. That was how Floyd made his career. And that's where I think
That's-
Connor's transitioning.
That's where Jake Paul is.
Jake Paul is making his career that way. I think Connor's going to become the villain in MMA.
he's
don't-
been the
I don't
villain.
think so.
bro.
Nah. People have always loved Connor. Now they're starting
He's
to
not
hate
gonna
him.
be like Colby Covington.
He's
no
gonna
one's
be worse.
gonna tune in to watch him
I think
lose.
people right now, like in the moment of MMA, are more disgusted by Connor than they are by Colby Covington. Connor said some bogus shit about Dustin's wife. Even if Colby's like a Trump fan and that makes people hate him, like the stuff Connor said directly about Dustin's wife is like what people hate about. Like
I don't-
it's like
I don't-
even worse than being a Trump fan to like the people who hate Trump.
I don't see people ever tuning in to watch McGregor lose. Like period. His fan base is too loyal.
I think people would tune in to see if he'll get out of his rut.
I don't know. I just think he's such a superstar. He's not gonna be like the villain of the UFC.
You
He's
can
never gonna
lose-
be like
you
Colby
can
Covington.
Lose the public support though. If
No
you-
one's gonna boo him when he walks out
people
to
loved
his
Conor
fight.
because he was like a superhero. He came from nothing. He became the first double champ in MMA or in the UFC. Like they loved his come up. Now he's at the top and he's acting like a douchebag. That makes people stop liking you. Unless you make a change. You know what I mean? And it looks like he's losing his cool. Like it looks like he's desperate. When you act like a super nice guy and then you lose and you come back and say no more Mr. Nice Guy and you don't make the donation you said you were going to make until Dustin calls you out about it. It makes you look desperate, and then you come back being mean, saying your wife's your husband, like it's calling your wife a
That was
busy
just
little
a bad
hoe.
joke. Like,
Like,
that was just like a
But
bad.
it's just like
trash
it's
talk.
desperate. Your trash talk won't land. You start saying even worse things because your trash talk doesn't land the way it used to. It just makes you look bad. Oh yeah.
with COVID.
Oh god. That was like a fall from grace.
That
This
was-
his
that
last like
was.
since the build up for the Dustin fight. Connor's just
He's definitely
he's
going.
lost his game.
I agree that what he says isn't right, but I still don't think the fans are gonna turn on him no matter what. He's one of those guys.
No, I think if he comes back, regains his grace and starts winning, I think obviously he'll. But if he keeps, obviously if he does all that, he'll come back and he'll be the guy he was, and people will continue to support him. If he keeps going down this downward spiral of losing your cool, losing again, losing your cool even more. It's like it
He just needs
honestly
to get the dub.
he needs to win. He needs to
But-
put himself back in that conversation.
I mean, he just tweeted yesterday how Jose Aldo's a legend. Like,
Well, yeah, but it's funny because when when a guy says nice things about you, like Jose Aldo's been praising Connor in the public, so of course Connor comes back and he says like,
dude, he's
Jose's
been saying
a
that for a
legend.
while.
"What do you mean?"
McGregor. He's been
Okay.
talking very highly of Jose ever since he fought him.
But Connor turns on the people who talk bad about him in the public.
Not really.
Yeah, he kind of does.
No.
Khabib said Connor said nice things about Khabib's dad. Khabib's dad dies. Khabib says something bogus about Connor, being like the whole evil thing. Then Connor comes back and says something bogus about Khabib's dad. If you talk shit about Connor, he'll talk shit about you back, even if he respected you before that.
Okay, guys, do you think Khabib and Conor will have a rematch?
No,
Do you think Khabib will ever come back?
no.
I think he
I hope
will.
so.
I think he will.
Why would he come back?
I don't know. The same reason fighters who always retire come back. Like, I think Henry Cejudo will eventually come back too.
I think it'll be like a Michael Jordan comeback. Does it all again.
I don't know. I don't think Khabib comes back. I think he's chilling on his fucking tens of millions. He has the least lavish lifestyle of any world champion probably ever. Ever. He has no need for any more money.
It's not about the money. I just think he'll want to fight.
But like, why? I think Chael Sonnen makes good points about this. It's like, why come back to fight just to fight if you don't need to fight? Because you're just you're messing up your body and you're putting yourself in harm's way.
Some people like fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think he would.
I don't know.
Khabib.
No one will know.
If Kamaru doesn't win this fight against Colby, what happens to his legacy that he's building? Because people are saying he's on track to be better than GSP.
He's definitely not the GOAT then. If he loses. I think he should beat Colby pretty soundly.
Colby has probably given him the most
Yeah.
of a fight.
I'd like to see Colby versus Dustin.
Interesting.
That would be a cool fight.
I think Colby would probably win.
Colby
me,
has
Dustin's
a great
like-
pace to his fighting style.
Yeah, Colby's tough.
He's fast.
He's a natural 170. Dustin's a 155er. Like,
Dustin says he wants to move up to 170.
maybe if he gets... What if Dustin becomes the double champ? What if he moves up, beats Kamaru, and holds two belts at once?
If you're like a 155, you could fight in 145, 155, and 170.
So
Conor did that.
McGregor.
Connor's done that. I just think... I mean, to me, Colby and Dustin are built kind of similarly. So that could maybe work.
I think Colby has a smaller frame. It looks like it. Like he's skinnier.
But he's probably taller.
Yeah, I don't know the exact.
Do you think
I think that would be a good fight.
who do you think would win?
I don't know. I haven't seen too much of Colby. So, I'd have to say Poirier.
Really?
On a like a hot take, yeah.
Because you haven't seen Colby, you think Poirier?
I think Colby would probably win
I mean,
because he gave Kamaru Usman a really tough fight. And they're just bigger, so I think by
I'd like
that
to
logic,
see
like, it's hard to say Dustin would just beat Colby.
what do you think they do with Jorge Masvidal?
Yeah, he's kind of like Nate Diaz after
Maybe
Nate
they
lost
should
to
just
Conor.
rematch with Nate.
What? Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think of the Nick Diaz Robbie Lawler fight?
It's it is cool
It's cool.
because
Apparently,
both
Nick Diaz is
legends.
pretty training. I mean, he's training pretty hard.
Diaz like basically mostly retired at this point.
I mean, he never officially announced retirement. He just hasn't fought in years.
Really? When was the last fight?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure GSP like was one of the main reasons that Nick Diaz never won a title. Because Nick was like apparently really good.
I mean, if you guys can make any fight right now, what fight would you make?
Like, right now,
Right
like
now.
any dream like
Yeah, any fight.
of active fighters or just
Yeah,
like all time
Active fighters.
Active fight. So Khabib's out.
If you could make, if you were Dana White,
oh
what fight would you make?
Does he even make those fights?
yeah, Dana's one of the guys making fights. There's like a team of people there that make the fights, and Dana's like on the team, obviously.
I'd say John Jones versus Francis, or maybe
Yeah.
Izzy versus John. They're talking about doing that.
No, John would fuck up Izzy.
Dude, they're talking about doing that though.
I actually had a question about Izzy.
You said where does he go next?
Yeah. I mean, where?
I think he just keeps winning.
Just keep defending his title. Do you guys think he'll
I
end
think
up
that-
going back?
I liked how he tried to become a double champ, and then he handled that loss so well, and then he came back and won.
I just think that division is just weak, so it's not as fun for me to tune into Izzy.
That's the problem. Is like, even with 172, it's like when you have a guy who dominates so like everybody in the division, but they can't really go up or down a weight class for some reason. It's like, what do you do with those guys? Like, it's hard to. They just kind of have to keep beating the same guys until a new challenge comes. That's the interesting thing with Conor was like he was able to go up. He was so big at 145 that he was able to go up to 155.
Yeah, he's the first guy to have a knockout at 3 different weight divisions.
Knockout. Oh yeah, he knocked out Cowboy.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I don't know what Izzy does. I mean, I mean, what do you get?
I mean, John Blachowicz or whatever. I mean, Jan or what's his name?
Jan Blachowicz.
Jan Blachowicz.
That weight class is dead. 185.
Yeah, I don't know. crap
No,
about-
205. I mean, the one John Jones left, light heavyweight. That
Yeah,
weight class is dead.
he's moving up to heavyweight.
What do you mean? What do I mean?
but has he fought in heavyweight yet at all?
He's-
No, but he's attempting his like down. He's attempting to go up to. He's going up to heavyweight. I mean, he hasn't fought there yet, but there's a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Is Dana White on steroids?
Bro, Dana White used to be this
He's
skinny
jacked.
dude. Now then he was fat for a while,
Yeah.
and now he's like yoked as hell. I don't think you get that yoked. Like he's so
He's
yoked. I don't think you
veiny.
get that yoked if you're not on steroids at that age.
Yeah, it's not like, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me, but he could just be a beast.
MMA president. You kind of need to look like Dana
I mean, he
White.
was kind of a chunky guy for a little, like in the McGregor build-up. If you go look at like, he had
I mean,
like
yeah.
a double chin.
It kind of like, to me, like CEOs should be in really good shape. Like it just kind of makes sense. If you're like running a whole body of people and a whole team of people and a bunch of athletes and you're like a fatty, how do you gain the respect of these people?
Exactly. Yeah, so that's why you might be on steroids. I don't care what's like, if you're not the athlete, what is ethically super wrong?
Nothing.
Nothing is wrong. It's just like,
I mean, it's just like not healthy.
Also, here's my question. If John Jones is on steroids, he's still at whatever weight he needs to be at. I'm like,
he's not at steroids anymore.
But it's more than just gaining weight. Steroids makes you like way more athletic,
stronger.
stronger,
athletic.
faster. What do you mean? That's what athletic is.
Stronger. It's
Stronger,
not
faster, more endurance.
athleticism. Derek Lewis is strong, but he's not athletic.
Stronger, faster, have more endurance, higher testosterone, faster recovery, thicker bone density. Where else do I? That's athletic.
Thicker bone density does not have anything to do with athleticism.
When you're hitting people and your bones are more dense, that means it hurts more when you're fighting.
Dude, I'm saying that has nothing to do with athleticism.
Yeah, it does.
Having thicker bones makes
Having having higher bone density, that's a
not
part
make
of
you
being
more athletic.
stronger and more durable. Yeah,
It's
it is.
not athleticism.
How is that not athleticism?
Having thicker bones.
I said denser bones. That means stronger.
Same difference.
No, thicker means they're wider.
No.
Denser means the
fine,
bone
denser.
tissue you have is stronger.
That doesn't make you more athletic.
It makes you able to take more.
And give more damage. Even in another sport.
That makes you more tough, not athletic.
But that's a part of the athlete.
No.
It's how
Being
it's
durable.
a genetic advantage if you have denser bones.
Dude, just because, like, Justin Gaethje, he's durable. Doesn't make him athletic.
It's a part of his athleticism.
No.
It's an athletic trait that helps him.
Like Nate Diaz. He's not athletic.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
How?
He's, like, flat-footed.
So he is great cardio. He's able to take a punch. He has a lot of endurance.
He's
That's
durable.
his
There's
athletic
a difference
build.
between durability and athleticism.
Steroids makes all your attributes better. How is that not? How is bone density not a part of that?
It is. I'm saying it has nothing to do with athleticism.
What is athleticism?
Faster, jumping, agility,
Strength,
footwork,
endurance.
not strength.
How? What?
Strength is not athleticism.
Zach,
No,
if I'm an athlete and I get
Yeah.
stronger, I
Yeah.
just became more athletic.
dude. Derek Lewis is strong as hell.
Okay.
He's not athletic.
He is athletic.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
That's why he we discussed this earlier.
He's not as quick, but there's not
He-
one way of defining
Daniel
athletic.
Cormier on the
Athletic
broadcast
isn't
was
just-
saying he's losing because his lack of athleticism.
Bro, athleticism is
Like
how strong you are. Hold on, how fast you can jump, not how fast you can run, how high you can jump, and how well you can do the combination.
Yeah, your density of bones has nothing to do with athleticism.
They're genetically advantaged,
Bro.
But
Athleticism is a bunch of different variables
Yeah.
that create an athletic
The
profile.
only strength is the only thing that adds that you get from
Bro,
steroids that adds to your
It
athleticism.
adds to every part of being an athlete.
No.
It makes you
Yeah, but not
recover faster. It
athleticism.
makes all of your joints, bones,
Being
and
an
muscles
athlete
stronger.
and athleticism are different.
Bruh. But if all these guys are very athletic,
Dude,
even if
no.
one,
No.
athleticism isn't just how
Dude.
fast and quick you move. That's not just
That's
athleticism.
Dude,
No.
yeah, that's literally.
Look it up. What does athletic mean?
Yeah, being athletic. Dude, there's
It depends on what the athlete is trying to do, how
Like-
they use their body's traits.
like, you know
to
that
do what they
kid
wanna do.
in a grade above me, the basketball player, he kind of looks like me.
Sure.
Yeah, he's not athletic.
Yeah, because he
I'm
has
not
no
athletic.
attributes. You don't have
Yeah.
any much athleticism.
Yeah.
But Derek Lewis
Exactly.
has a lot of strength,
Okay,
power,
strength,
which makes
different
him very
than
athletic.
athleticism. No.
He has one trait that's so
Yeah.
off the scale good that
His
it
no
makes him
footwork,
athletic.
no speed, no agility.
Derek, his punches are very quick. They're
Mm.
fast and strong.
They're not dude,
Strength
they're
is
not
speed.
that. No.
Yeah.
No. Strength is
Higher
not
strength,
speed.
meaning ability to lift more and push more.
Aldo was fast,
Okay.
not very powerful.
Bro, he is very powerful.
Dude, those punches weren't that hard hitting.
Just because he didn't knock the guy out.
Dude, they were quick pops.
Okay.
That wasn't power. That wasn't strength. That was agility. That was quickness.
But if you're trying, I'm saying in the gym, right? When you're training to get more speed,
Like
you add
Arnold.
weight. So then
Arnold.
when you take the weight away, you're faster.
Like a Mr. Olympia. Those huge guys,
Uh-huh.
really strong.
They're
They're
not-
not athletic.
They're not training for
They're not
strength.
athletic.
They're training for hypertrophy. That's two
Okay.
different things, and it
Same
makes two different
difference.
athletes.
Same difference. Strongmen. They're
Yeah.
not athletic.
They're very athletic.
No.
Yes,
They're
they
not
are.
athletic.
Bro, professional athletes, all of them are athletic in
No.
different ways.
Golfers,
They're athletic.
cap,
Bruh,
fishermen.
that's not really a sport.
Bro,
That's a
bro,
different kind of
golf
sport.
is not. You don't need to be fat.
There's
fat
nobody in
guys.
golf that's really fat now.
Yes, there is.
There have been, not anymore.
Okay. They all have beer bellies. What are you talking about?
No, they don't.
Bro,
Once
Bro.
Tiger Woods, okay, he's
Yeah, what?
an
He's
exception.
like 50. He's not athletic.
There's not one way to define athleticism.
The
Clip
way I
that.
think of it as
Clip that.
the way I describe athleticism is agility, quickness, speed, jumping, stuff like that.
Yeah, but you can be an athlete with a couple good traits. You can those traits are very like Nate has an athletic level, a pro athlete level of endurance.
Yes, pro athlete doesn't make you athletic. Bro,
That is
stop looking
such a
at him.
contradiction.
No, it's not.
Being a pro athlete,
Does not make you athletic.
how?
Dude. Oh my, how you, bro?
How?
Look at those uncoordinated ass centers in the NBA.
Bro,
They're not athletic.
they are
They're
athletic.
Stiff. They barely
They're
can
not.
run.
They don't fit
They
one
just
certain
dunk and
generic
rebound.
way of defining athletic.
Bro, whatever.
But they're very
can move
athletic.
on.
They're
We can agree to
pro
disagree.
athletes at the highest level.
We can
There's
agree to
there's
disagree.
big fat
All right,
uncoordinated guys who aren't athletic enough to do what they do.
In the comments, comment who you agree with, bro. I mean, seriously.
Let's move on. So in our last podcast, I made the point that I think Connor could and should think about going back down to 145 because the best he ever was at 145. Now, a lot of people responded to that clip on TikTok saying he couldn't make 145 anymore for various reasons. And then if he did, he couldn't beat the top guys at 145. It's too competitive at 145. So basically that brings up the question for me. Connor's already fought Max Holloway at 145. If he were to go back down to 145 and fight Max Holloway again today, could Connor beat Max Holloway at 145? Max Holloway's last performance, he I think broke the record for most strikes landed. He landed 447 strikes, 445 of which were significant strikes.
Whoa, that doesn't make sense.
I think he could, but I don't think he will. I don't think he even will go down to 145.
I just think he should.
He's gonna fight Dustin next.
I don't know
I
about
think
that.
he even gets the title fight with Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin wins. Just
Dana said it's not settled. He didn't lose to Dustin.
Yeah.
You can't forget that.
But to give him
He
a
broke
title
his
fight
leg.
when there's other dogs who deserve a title fight.
Like who?
I don't know. Any guy who's won recently in the top 5.
Who
Oh,
was
more than
that?
Connor.
Who is that?
If Chandler wins this next fight, he deserves
Chandler
a title
just
fight over
lost.
Connor. If he beats
Gaethje's
Gaethje,
coming
though,
off a loss. Chandler's coming off a loss.
Gaethje would deserve a title fight more.
He just came off a loss. He's
Oliveira would
coming
probably
off
deserve a
loss.
rematch more than Connor does.
Whatever.
Those 3 guys, I think, would deserve a title fight before Connor.
I don't know. I don't really care. Deserving. The UFC, that's their money fight. That's what they'd probably do. And Dana said, it's not finished, so. And it's not like he lost officially. I mean, he did lose officially. But it's not like it wasn't Dustin who forced that loss.
Yeah.
It was just medical. His foot was broken going into it.
So he says.
He showed him rapping and stuff and X-rays.
why does he do that?
And Dana White said that he confirmed it.
So Dana White knew about it beforehand.
Yeah.
Is that
He almost pulled out of the fight.
Maybe he should have.
I mean, he definitely should have. That's no doubt. His
Yeah.
foot was broken in half.
Yeah.
Definitely should have. Push that back a few months.
All right. Anyway, could Connor beat Max Holloway at 145? Let's really dissect that.
I don't know. I don't even know, bro.
The Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley fight is in 3 weeks.
It's 3 weeks.
It's in 3 weeks.
I say Tyron takes that.
You think so?
I think Tyron takes that as well.
Jake's never fought a boxer. Or
He's never fought a good opponent.
Jake's never fought a good opponent, yeah, at all. Who can even throw a decent punch.
It's like he fought a basketball player.
He fought a basketball player and then a bum-ass striker.
Dude, it's actually crazy people giving his boxing career validity because Ben Askren is known as one of the worst UFC strikers.
I actually don't think many people are, to be honest.
Joe Rogan was.
Well,
Many people are.
Joe Rogan said he actually can punch. He can actually throw a punch. And he can. I mean, you have to give him some credit.
I guess so.
I mean, yeah, like
look
to
at it.
to knock somebody out in a punch like how he has been, that's no easy thing to
I
do.
mean, he's boxing legit boxers in his training camp, so he says.
Apparently he's training against world-class guys, him and Logan.
I don't
Logan
think Logan
just-
has a future in boxing.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, just
I think he's just
if Jake Paul does beat Tyron, he's like exponentially more legitimized.
where does Jake go from there?
Real boxers.
Yeah.
Or like
Meaning,
legit UFC guys. like
Nate Diaz.
like-
They gotta stop having mixed martial artists.
I don't think Nate Diaz, because like it's not like Nate Diaz like boxes like a traditional boxer.
I don't know.
He's the
That-
zombie.
I've heard that. I just said that because I heard they were talking about doing that.
He's called out Nate Diaz. I don't find that fight. I think he would beat Nate Diaz.
No, that's you. How could you even say that?
Because Jake is
he's
like
beat
now
Ben
he's beaten
Askren.
Tyron Woodley in a boxing match.
He hasn't.
He trains like a real boxer against real boxers.
He hasn't even beat Tyron yet.
Right, I'm saying
And
in the event he
It'll
does.
be a tough fight. Like it's not gonna be. I don't think he gets the easy knockout.
Should Jake fight Connor?
No.
Bruh,
No.
who did I s-
No.
who somebody I can't remember, but somebody said that Jake shouldn't even fight Connor because he would beat him. Because Jake's 190. He trains as a legit boxer. Who was that? I want to say it was Chael or something.
I don't know. I mean, I think I don't even know. I think he beats Tyron if he does beat Tyron, I think he should just fight like his brother or something. I wouldn't like be it's like I like what he's doing. Like he is the best YouTube boxer there is. Like that's a whole like that is a whole like thing of its own.
Right.
You
But
know,
I
he-
think he
like-
can only exist in
like if-
that atmosphere for so long.
I don't think so because
Because once you start beating real fighters, you
but
gotta.
then once you fight like dude, do you know any boxers in the 190-pound division? Like pro boxers?
No.
Okay, exactly. It's not as entertaining if he fights like some it's cool when he fights like
But if he keeps doing like real UFC guys, like if he goes from Tyron to somebody who's active to like a
like
real
to Kamaru
legit,
Usman.
but
He
that
was
would be
saying
like
he was gonna do. He wants to fight Kamaru. Like that's a fun fight.
that would be crazy. I think Kamaru would smoke
Or
him.
like Dustin Poirier.
He'd get messed up by Dustin.
Who would? Jake.
Jake,
Jake would definitely get Dustin.
because I think
Me-
Jake and Dustin probably walk around at similar weights.
Jake's heavier actually.
Yeah, Poirier walks.
But I think Poirier walks around at like within 10 pounds of what Jake weighs,
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal.
10 or 15
mean-
pounds. It's not like Dustin would fight Jake at 155 and Jake would be 190. Even if he did, he might beat him.
Like I said, I don't think Jake needs to go to like fighting some unknown pro boxer just because he's a pro. Like I don't. That's not as fun to me. I won't like be excited about that. I'd rather him fight like KSI. He should just. I don't think he really. I think he just wants to make money.
But I think to keep building hype, you have to keep fighting bigger threats. If you're Jake,
Yeah.
considering Logan just fought Floyd too.
Tyron is a 4-year-old guy who hasn't won a fight in 3 years. He's still not that high. He can definitely do better.
Yeah, like he can fight better UFC guys, and that's
Yeah.
a draw. There's always that draw with boxing and UFC because, like, you can be a guy like Jake Paul who's like not like a real pro boxer, but you're trained enough where you could fight. You could make the case, like you could convince fans that you can fight UFC guys in a boxing match. And that's what he's been doing. Now, and if he beats Tyron, he can actually like continue that. If he loses to Tyron, then it kind of sets him back a bit. I don't know what happens after that.
I think that just ruins his boxing career. Jake has said that one loss and his career is boxing is like kind of ruined. He said that.
Maybe he does. If he loses, he could rematch Tyron.
I don't know.
There's a fight there, and I'm sure Tyron would take it. Cause the story with him is that he blew all his money.
Maybe,
so like, I don't think he would turn down a fight against Jake.
I wouldn't be surprised at either outcome, but Tyron could win easily. I mean, he's knocked out vicious fighters, so he'll definitely put up a better fight than any other past opponents of Jake's.
Jake Paul's fights are extremely fraudulent. I'm for real saying that.
Yeah, they are.
This one is his first one that.
I mean, it's a Showtime pay-per-view. Like, that's a real.
This one is the most real it gets by far.
I mean, I'd like to see Jake box Floyd.
That'd be.
I mean, Jake could. I think Logan is not anywhere near as good as Jake.
Yeah, I agree. I just think Logan is more like respected than Jake, so like that's why he got the Floyd fight.
In terms of YouTube?
Yeah.
KSI?
Yeah. Who did Logan fight, right?
KSI.
Boy.
Logan.
What are his abilities?
I don't know.
He beat Logan the first time, and then he kind of beat Logan the
twice.
second time because of like a point thing. Like Logan did an illegal punch, then he lost 2 points. And then he like lost the fight to KSI in a close manner. But basically, like Logan's not even as good as KSI.
He also looked just like amateur against Floyd. He kept hugging him. In the first round when he was just like throwing punches like a maniac, he just looked like stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you that.
But apparently he's fighting Anderson Silva.
I heard that those talks got like
shut down.
down.
That's not even that intriguing.
But Anderson Silva beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in a boxing match.
I don't even know who
and
that
Julio Cesar Chavez is like the senior is like a legend in boxing. So and Junior is like a pretty good boxer too. So it's like pretty much like Silva's like I think he's going into this boxing thing because he doesn't want to stop fighting, and he cares about it. But he obviously was like done in UFC. Like,
yeah, I'd like to just see Logan Paul versus Jake Paul. That's like the biggest fight they can do.
That's kind of, you know how like Conor always has that like Diaz rematch in the back of his pocket, even if he like keeps losing, the people are still gonna tune in for that. I think Jake and Logan always have that where it's like if Jake like kind of goes a little further in his career and then he like loses really badly and like wants to milk his boxing career some more, he can go back to the Logan fight.
Yeah, he could always do that. That's true.
And Logan needs to keep fighting. I think they both need to keep fighting as long as they can before they cash in on that fight. Because they only have so long on this before they have to.
I wonder who Logan could fight. Like, what's a good fight for him?
I don't know. This camera's about to die.
All right, let's cut it.
I think we should cut it.
All right,
that
peace.
Was decent.
Hey, no UFC this week, next week, so we're off for a while.
Nah, we'll do another podcast.
I know, but there's no new fights, so
there'll be more news we can unpack. All right, boys. Well done.
Peace out.